I can see mistakes everywhere, and then it's just like, okay, lessons, guys.
Yeah.
Focus on the lessons.
Lesson, right? So what a lesson I can learn from the risk that I take. I think that's a very good example. Yeah.
In the Micka Show, we highlight practical methods to create a meaningful impact in our personal and professional life. Thanks for joining us today, and let the show begin. Hello, dear audience of the Micka Show. Hello, dear Miss Van Ang. I'm so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. This is an honor for me to be here. Have a conversation with you today.
Oh, wow, I feel so important right now. We are actually here to have a very important conversation about a very important topic: how to become risk takers. Whew. Let's do it. Now, Van Ang, when we take risk, we get out of the comfort zone. So what happens when we get out of this comfort zone?
Okay. First of all, if we do things that we feel uncomfortable, our body going to send a message to our brain saying that, oh, this is a threat. So we're going to fight or flight or freeze. And we will find all the different reasons so that we can come back to our comfort zone. However, if you realize that this is an uncomfortable situations or dangerous situations, but another message from brain saying that, oh, we have a try and let's see, and this is when we take risks.
Like, for example, for you, today is the first time to come on a show.
Yeah,
there is a bit of risk, right?
Well, I think I'm taking a risk now.
So what is risk?
So risk is the possibilities of something bad happen. For example, harm or loss or danger. And however, I feel like this is not something that I lost or I feel in danger, hopefully.
But according to you, why should we take risks?
I think that many people have different reasons for taking risks. I love taking risks because I often want to feel the assignment. So when I take risks, I feel excited to learn new skills, or I make a new connection, or I have a new experience. Sometimes I take risks because I trying to have a feeling of curiosity. So feeling curious about how far I can go with comfort zone. What will be another potentials that I haven't seen for myself. I want to have a feeling of pride or satisfied when I achieve something. So basically, I want to improve my life and want to be a better version of myself.
So if I get it right, when we take risks, we have an opportunity to grow, to become a better version of ourselves, to get out of the comfort zone, to learn about ourselves, to expand ourselves. Basically, it sounds like there's only benefits of doing it. But why a lot of us, or many times, we just do not allow us to take the risk?
Very good questions. And I think that if you ask me that questions, I'm going to give you those answers. This is me 10 years ago. So I refuse taking some rest sometimes because I'm afraid of being failed. The fearful of failure. So if I wasn't successful in the past, I will doubt myself that how can I be successful for this time? I'd be afraid of lost. For example, how much time I'm going to invest on that, how much money I'm going to invest for that, right? Maybe I'm going to afraid of losing the relationship also. Lack of confidence. For sure, right? Feeling that you are not good enough. So all of that feeling of fearful or lack of confidence or self-doubt is going to be holding somebody back from taking risks.
And according to you, what should we do when the worst happens? When we meet the failure? Like, for example, we go on stage to do stand-up comedy and we bomb. Nobody laughs. What should we do to feel better, to be able to take risks again?
So I think this is going to be, you need to ask yourself whether, why you take that risk. Is it aligned with your core value? Is it aligned with your long-term goal? And a story that you had to tell yourself that we're going to get better. Even though the worst thing happened is we learn something. We learn from our mistake, and then for next time, we're going to fail, but we fail better. So this is something that I keep telling myself. This is no failing. It's just an opportunity for me to grow and for me to learn.
I think I like this attitude that you have, like, even if it's a failure, even something negative comes up, we're still capable of learning from it. So it's not really a failure if we're capable of learning, right?
No.
It's like, I think it's a mindset to have when we are capable of taking risks. It's like, yes, there is a risk of failure, there is a risk of disappointment, but at the end of the day, when we are learning, we're not failing, we're just growing.
Yes.
So it feels to me that this topic of risk-taking and becoming risk-takers,
Yes.
it's also have a mindset, positive mindset first, but the mindset of a student mindset.
Yes.
It's like a game.
Yes, yes. And our brain is going to be like muscle. They're going to get better and better anytime that we fail. And this is how we're able to build our toolkit and make it better and better next time. Without taking risks, you don't know what you're good at and what you need to work on.
So we were talking about fears and things that prevent us from taking risks. Do you have a technique when it comes to these negative emotions, these challenges that we are facing, and sometimes we're incapable to go beyond?
So in 6 seconds, when I learn about emotional, we're having a very useful tool called VET, V-E-T. So the VET is going to have a beautiful tool for us to explore our emotions or explore the situations. So the V stands for validating. So when you're validating your emotion, try to understand what is your emotion. Is it the fear, or is it the jealous? Is it the afraid? And then try to name that emotion. So when you're validating, it doesn't mean that you ignore your emotion or you trust your emotions. You just naming it and accepting it. And so you use emotions as a piece of information. And every piece of emotion tell you something. It's a data to help you to understand who you are. It's a part of who you are, and it's going to be a motivate for you to take an action. And the E stands for explore. So trying to explore why you feel that way, where that emotion comes from, and why is it important for you to have that emotion. And the last one, the most important part, is the T, that is stand for transforming. So when you feel overwhelmed, you're trying to choosing the moment or different techniques for you to be neutral, come to balance, and then you choosing another emotion, for example, excitement or encourage, so that you can take an action. So that is one of the very important or useful tool for you to explore your emotion or able to understand why you feel fearful before you take risks.
So let me summarize it. So it's V for validation.
Yes.
Validate, understand what is the emotions that you have it, name it. E for exploration, understand the origins, why this emotion came here. Why do I feel this way? And C, transformation. So we're going to transform.
Yeah.
We're going to flip the emotion. For example, if I feel stressed before going on stage, instead of feeling stressed, okay, I know why I feel stressed, because there is a lot of people, there is a lot of people, a lot of important people. I don't have the right to miss my shot. But then transformation, in this example, if you allow me to say, it's transform the fear by the excitement.
Yes, excitement. To see that how far you can go. Maybe excitement who going to make a connection after the show, and what different mistake I can make.
I can see mistakes everywhere.
And then it's just like, okay,
lessons, lessons, guys.
Yes.
Focus on the lessons.
Lesson, right? So what a lesson I can learn from the risk that I take. And then that's a very good example. Micka.
Now is the most important moment of the video, because we are going to have a practice time with you, Miss Wang, and with me, obviously. We are going to practice risk-taking, right? So, I'm just curious to see what will be your advice for a real-life situation where there is a lot of risk for me. You guys also can, of course, obviously apply this method for you. So
You make me nervous.
I'm the nervous one. I'm the one taking risks. You advise me, help us. So for example, can I share with you a situation, a problem that I'm having, and maybe you can try to give me and the audience some steps, some questions that we need to ask ourselves in order to get out of this discomfort zone. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Vulnerable moment, guys. So here's the thing. I have a big dream. My dream, my purpose, my objective is to become the most famous MC, foreign MC and host here in Vietnam.
I thought you are already on.
I like you. Oh, no, I mean, really, like to get bigger gigs, to interview more and more people, to make the Micka show shine internationally, to have this idea of being like an ambassador of different countries and cultures that I embody. So it's like when we have a dream, there's a lot of risk. So how can we overcome it and be in the action?
So the part of being risk-taking to make sure you evaluate your risk. In this term that you are able to balance between your EQ and your IQ.
Can you explain what is EQ and
Yeah. So the EQ is when you are able to answer the following questions. For example, what is the cost you're going to pay if you take that risk?
What is the cost? I mean, it's going out of the comfort zone because it's going outside the path I was supposed to take, which is like work for a company, have a stable job, security, safety. Yeah, it's like totally, there is no, I will not receive any pension, any money. If I do this, there is no, like every month I will not have a minimum wage, for example. So it's a total risk from a financial point of view, also in terms of time.
Yes.
Because the real value that we have in life, I think it's time. So it's like maybe I may lose my time running after something I will never achieve.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too big.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're talking about the cost, right? Now talking about the benefit. So what kinds of the benefit you think you're going to gain if you take that risk? I can see the sparkle in your eyes.
To go on that path, benefit is just being happy, really deeply happy. Because for me, happiness, it's being able to do what we love and make it a job, make it a living from our passions and our hobbies and things that make us thrilled, Even talking about this, I feel really,
So when you put that in the scale for the cost and benefit, which one is way more?
By excitement. Oui.
All right. So you had the answer for yourself already, right? So one more question that I would like to ask in terms of the EQ, the IQ is, what is the worst thing might happen if you take that risk?
I may fail. I may have not achieved my dream, and I may just come back to France and become a cashier in a supermarket there. And then all my high school friends will make fun of me, and they will say I'm a loser or something like that.
Oh, you just talked to us and share with us this is no failure. It's just a lesson. And then sometime when the worst thing happens, it's going to lead us to another direction, might bring you another you.
I may start my own line of supermarkets. That's the thing.
I believe so, because I can see that's where the passions, when you talk about passion, right? It's never nothing able to keep your passion as long as you had it in your heart, right? And keep that in mind about the national part, the rational part, the emotional part, let's test, right? So when you talk about EQ and we using the emotional scale to measure how willingness you are able to take the risk. So if you thinking about all the possible risks that you're able to face if you take that risk, you make on the list. Can you tell me one or two possible risks that you might have? if you take that risk?
A risk of, besides the risk of failure, a risk of deceiving people, like people being disappointed. People may be disappointed by me. Maybe disappointment and lose myself maybe in this quest. We're trying to run after something.
Yeah. So if the feeling of disappointment, right? Now we're going to evaluate your emotions. How you are able to evaluate the degrees of your emotion from 1 to 10, from high to low, for that.
Disappointment?
Yes. If you give yourself a number.
You mean if I fail?
Yes.
Or 10 out of 10?
10.
Yeah, of course. I'm very disappointed.
No hand. Right. If you know you're able to evaluate your intensities of your emotion from pleasure to unpleasure, where you give your number to this from 1 to 10.
100.
From 1 to 10?
10.
10. So if I evaluate that, it seemed to me that a fear of people disappointment is turned to be the most possible risk that you have, right? And this is about 100. To me, this is really high, right? And then there are another questions that you need to answer in order to find out maybe some solution for yourself. How your risk align with your long-term goal.
Long-term goal? Long-term goal for me is to be happy and to have a positive impact on people's life.
And how is that aligned to your core value?
That align, I mean, my core values, what are my core values?
Yes.
It's to be good with others the same way I'm good with myself. It's to be able to be strong enough with myself so I can be strong enough with others. Be good with myself so I can be good with others.
Yes, yes. And in order to take up that street, what you can control? What can you control?
Not much. Myself, my emotions.
Yes. Yes, that's all you can control, right? This is you and your passion. What can you control?
So basically, I can see where it tried to take me. When we take risk, we cannot control the environment. We can assess the risk to see, okay, what I'm capable of doing, what am I feeling? But the only thing that we can really control is us. It's our emotions, our state of mind.
Yeah, exactly. So when you take a risk, do not overestimate yourself. It doesn't mean that you're going to take all the risks in your life, right? So you need to see where you are and how many percentages you're going to be successful in that risk. And you're going to, another one is about you never underestimate the situation, something you cannot control, isn't it, right? And maybe you take a small step at a time, and then Micka, you are, I think, because of this show, you are taking a very small step in order to achieve your dream in the future. And I have been watching your YouTube, and I feel like this is a very wonderful start of your show. And the other one is being resilient, right? This is somebody seeing that, okay, everything is hard before it gets easy. As long as you put a practice on and you learn from your lesson, and you're getting better and better anytime you make.
I very like this idea, and it is hard at the beginning, my friend, because we did struggle with the filming today, but we're still here. We are making it, we make things happen. And I like the idea that you say it's all about being resilient, doing baby steps, and basically keep our dream.
Yes.
Just being aware of the situation, not see life through pink glasses. Being aware, this is the risk, this is the situation, I'm capable of doing this. Do not underestimate, do not overestimate yourself, just being true to yourself.
Exactly, exactly. You're not going to fool yourself in this situation that you're going to know that you failed, right?
So it's not about just taking risk for this and this to punish yourself. And so it's to assess, to process the reality of this situation, and then come up with like plan.
plan, strategy, resources. Who can I reach out for help if I take that risk? This will be another tip. This is very important. Even though that you're going to take the risk for yourself, but you need to remember that maybe somebody going to be there to help you to be successful.
So do you have maybe other tips in mind that we can take in order to make the risk-taking procedure smoother?
I think we can summarize that one here. That's you make sure that you answer all the questions that we have. For example, is this aligned with my long goal, right? Long-term goal? Is this aligned with my core value? What can I control? What I cannot control? What will be the worst thing might happen? And how I deal with that situation. And most important is enjoy the journey.
I think that's the seventh point. The last one is the most important one.
Yeah.
To keep on. Always enjoy. I think that's what we should always do. To put some love in our actions, in our daily life, in our connections, closed ones, and so on. Always put some little bit of love here and there.
Yes.
But we're coming actually to the end of the interview, but I don't want to let you go like that. I have a last question for you. According to you, what can we do to improve the quality of our life?
That's a very good question, and I'm thinking that questions seem we met. And I think that's the most important we should do is show more gratitude. The research has been shown a lot of link between how somebody being more grateful for their life with improving the quality of their life. People who are more grateful, they will be more healthier. They are more optimistic, and they are able to reach more goals, maybe take more risks, and they are able to improve their quality of life better.
Do you have a little technique that do you use personally when it comes to gratitude?
Yes, I'm trying to see things in the positive side. With the classes, I also thinking about the colorful, the rainbow classes. So if the light give you the sun classes, right? You have a choice to choose the rainbow classes for you. Just trying to see the good thing in every situations, and this give me the energy to see things from a different perspective. And that is where I able to feel like there will be more possibility out there. And I think this is important to me.
Rainbow glasses. Guys, remember at home, wear your rainbow glasses always, even if it's raining. Fine. Thank you so much, Van Anh, for your knowledge, your energy, and your authenticity on this show. I'm very happy.
And I'm happy to be in the show.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let us know what do you think about risk-taking. And we're going to have a hug. Come here.